A few years ago, after a meeting, well, one of the hundreds of meetings that we used to have, someone came up to me and said me, David, we need to reduce the response time of our customers. Everything started with this idea, with this simple and clear idea. And was the beginning of everything. The reason that I'm standing here in front of all of you talking about why we decide select Appian as our low-coding development platform. And as well, why we decide that Capgemini was the reference provider that we select. I'm David Carrasco. I'm the head of the VPN and low-coding development at Verisure. I want to throw out a question, a very simple question. Did you know that Verisure, well, I suppose that everybody here in this room know that Verisure is a security company, that our idea is to protect our customer through our system alarm. But did you know that Verisure handle a volume of communication such as a telecommunications company? I know that it sounds very, very arrogant, but if I tell you that we receive more than 300 million of signals and we process on cloud more than 30 million of videos every day. Every day we can receive more than 300 million of signals and process these 30 million of videos. When I said signals, I said that what is a signal? A signal is the information that we receive from the devices that each customer has at home and send us the information to our headquarters to analyze what is happening exactly in the customer on the house of the customer. And for that reason, I can tell you that we are the leaders of IoT, the leaders of the Internet of the Things. And before I start, I want to introduce you Verisure and what is Verisure and which are the elements that we have in our system alarm. Let me play this video to introduce you.
Rushing to work, going to see some friends, going on holiday, or at home with your family. We're there for you from when you wake up until you go to sleep. Not only to protect your home, but to protect your dreams, the people that you love, and the moments you spend with them. So you can live your life at 100% and leave your protection with our experts. We're always innovating for your security to bring you a professional, fast, precise, and efficient alarm system with unique technologies that, together with our security experts, deters, detects, verifies, and immediately responds in case of an intrusion, fire alarm, or any other emergency. We're passionate in everything we do with trust and responsibility because we care about you. We take responsibility of your safety and are ready to respond 24/7, no matter the emergency. We're there when you cannot be. We respond when no one else can. We step up when needed. We save lives. We're proud to protect. We're people protecting people.
Well, I've seen this video hundreds of times, and I am impressed every time I see it again. I am more impressed. But let me let me add another thing, an extra information that I have. At Verisure, we develop our own technical product from the beginning to the end, from the product to the service. Because, well, there are no other company in the world that understand better what we need. What is the information that we need to receive from our devices better than us? And it's the reason that we create our own technological environment, because we create all our devices. But thinking on the previous number, 300 millions of signals and 30 millions of videos. It's a huge volume of communications and information that we need to manage. To manage this information, it's essential to have a very powerful layer of professionals, as we have, but we need an extra layer to analyze, an artificial intelligence layer that we have to analyze into these 300 millions of signals and 30 millions of videos. We need to recognize what's happening at the customer house, to identify if it's a curtain moving, or it's an animal, or even it's a thief. Verisure is constantly looking for the excellence, and one of our objective is continue to improve the service that we offer to our customers. It's essential for us. And in middle of 2020, well, in the end of 2020, we began to look for or to see what could be the best solution of the events market that exists to help us in the transformation that we are looking for. And a few months later, finally we decided that, Appian should be the best low-coding platform to help us in the transformation and to drive our business. And of course, we decide that Capgemini should be the best provider, a trusted provider to help us in this transformation.
Thank you. Welcome. This gesture inspires trust. Trust is the basis of any relationship and essential to obtain the best results. And what better example than the one that concerns us today? Thank you, Appian, Verisure, and Capgemini for the opportunity, and thank you everybody for joining us today. My name is José Ramón Ruiz Salabert. I'm the Capgemini BPM practice lead in Spain, and I'm delighted to be here today to tell you about a story, short in time, but huge in productivity. As David just mentioned before, Verisure at the end of 2020 was looking for a case management solution, and they entrusted us the task of finding it. For Capgemini, Appian is the platform for change, leader in case management, and that's why we proposed Appian as the solution for Verisure. Capgemini is a global trusted partner and provider for the Verisure digital transformation, both for the number of collaboration as well as for the excellent results of this collaboration. At the same time, Capgemini was perfectly suitable to deploy the solution for several reasons, just to mention a few. First, we have a global partnership agreement with Appian, as you may know. Secondly, we have been pioneers in customers like Santander, Bank Inter, or one of the largest global banks based in London. And thirdly, we have delivered successfully more than 50 Appian projects during the last 4 years. Having said that, in December 2020, we presented a proof of concept that we built in just a couple of weeks. We knew how the Verisure agents contact center worked. We realized how they really wanted to work. And please bear in mind, as David stated just a few minutes, Verisure builds its own software. So the POC basically showed for a new way of work for the Verisure agents and a new way of building application for the business and IT. The POC worked, otherwise we wouldn't be here today. And from there we held some meetings to get a better understanding and until we defined the first use case to tackle. The first use case aimed at answering the already mentioned question, how can Verisure reduce the handle average time between customers and agents? And facing this challenge, in June 2021, we launched a pilot and we focused on 2 work lines. The first one was to empower the agents by presenting them the most relevant information about the customer, its products, its history, including an ad hoc troubleshooting assistance component, which allows the resolution of any incidents related to the customer in an easier way, in a more efficient way. The second was to work as one team, letting Verisure discover the power, the flexibility, and the velocity of API solution, and enabling business users to modify this troubleshooting assistance component by themselves. The pilot finished in September of 2021, after 3 months, and apart from reaching the objectives, another outcome brought. API was established as the platform for change for Verisure. And why is API the platform for change for Verisure? With API, we could offer a unified user experience due to the fact that with API it's very easy to optimize and to unify the interactions between data, processes, and people. Additionally, we could create prototypes in a matter of hours, show them, test them, adapt them. Moreover, it could be done with a single platform that brings all the automation capabilities and low code. Lastly, I would like to introduce also a cultural change. The reduction of the complexity of the developments allow bringing business people to the developments, fostering the business and IT collaboration. As an anecdote, there was a short, medium period of time to assimilate this cultural change regarding how much the business people could be involved in the developments. Well, it was either too much or not enough. And it took some time, business and IT, to agree, but at the end they reached the best balance. And of course, as always, trust, commitment, involvement made it easier to clarify the requirements and to meet the expectations. After the pilot and after a year of agile development, now we have a complete application, including innumerable functionalities that we wouldn't even have considered a year ago. I dare to say that if we had started to work with all the solutions different from API, today we will be probably finishing the pilot, whereas with API we have been able to work quickly and simple. To sum up, what have we achieved since we start? Business agility, user experience, and customer satisfaction. As regards business agility, taking advantage of the low code, obviously we have to reduce the time to market, but with low code we can go beyond, creating not only the runtime application, but also government sites where the business user or operation administrators can modify the behavior of the application in terms of business rules, SLAs, or others, or where they can define new taxonomies, manage availability, communication templates, or why not, to define new troubleshooting processes. They can do this immediately in production and with no risk of breakdown. In terms of user experience, we have streamlined the contact center agents environment by tearing down the walls between applications. It's no longer necessary to use several applications to get a single outcome, and that makes a big difference. The consequence of everything that I have mentioned so far is customer satisfaction. Verisure takes care of the end customer always, and that's something the end customer usually is not aware of. But with, the end customers usually don't call the call center, but when they do, it's because they really need something from Verisure. That's the moment of truth. That's the moment Verisure has the occasion as a leader to put the customer first, showing closeness and quality. And with the new application, there is no doubt that the customer satisfaction has improved considerably. Regarding the future, of course, there is a plan that I'm not going to reveal, but what I'm sure of is that we don't need to wait for tomorrow to decide what we would like in the future. The world is constantly changing, and if we want to keep pace with it, it's necessary to have a platform designed for change. Thanks to Appian and the harmony between Verisure and Capgemini, we can decide the future today, right now. Thanks to Appian and Capgemini and everybody that have come today for listening to this little history that is based on trust and commitment between three organizations looking for the best results.
Thank you, José Ramón. Well, as José Ramón has commented, one of the benefits that we discover creating the solution that Capgemini helped us to build was one of the most important benefits that we was looking for, and was the reduction of 25% of the response time. We can reduce the average handle time in 25%. It's a huge number for us, but it's not the only benefit that we achieve, because the one of the most important benefit that we achieve during the development of the project was to give directly to our business team the autonomy to create their own business process. Well, when we finally achieved this requirement, our business team, of course, was impressed by the capability of the solution and the knowledge about the Capgemini they have. And the objective to be autonomous is because the time to market is reduced to the minimum. And the objective is totally clear. It was because Capgemini have a powerful knowledge about the solution, and of course, Appian is a powerful solution. But now, this is the application that we have now. But what happened with the future? Because for me, it's totally clear. For me and for Verisure, our next step will be to bring the same solution to the 17 countries that we have presence. Because it's totally clear. Verisure, the future of Verisure, is Appian, because Appian is the future. Thank you.